You're watching Outsiders with your hosts, Rowan, Dean, James, Morrow, and I'm Rita Panahi from The Rita Panahi Show, Friday nights, 7 p.m, where every week we bring you a compilation of lefties losing it. Now, often these lefties are green-haired freaks supergluing themselves to roads or confused men in dresses having tantrums in restaurants. But sometimes the lefties losing it are the creators and producers of one of the longest-running TV programs, Law and Order SVU, who recently ran an episode where a white rape victim did not want to prosecute her black rapist because of her inherent privilege.
But Natalie, Jay Watson raped you. Do you think I forgot? How could I? This entire trial has been an exercise in reminding me.
And this is your chance to do something about it.
I am going to. Believe me. Because I can. I can afford therapy. I have that luxury. And maybe one day I'll be okay. But if that teenager goes to prison, he may not be. Ever.
Yeah, that's a great message to send to women, that even if they are the victims of the most heinous crime, they should consider their own race and socioeconomic status and that of their attacker before seeking justice. That they should prioritise being good little victims and allies rather than holding a rapist accountable. In the program that aired last week in the US, even the rape victim's lesbian partner was afflicted with white guilt, agonising about the systematic racism that the justice system is perpetuating, and seemingly more angry at the cops than the young man who raped her partner.
Not great. I was up all night with Natalie. She was inconsolable.
That's understandable. Look, when a person goes through a trauma like that, they can end up in a very vulnerable state.
Yeah, it wasn't about that.
Okay, then what?
We're acutely aware of the systemic inequities that exist within the criminal justice system.
You mean for people like Jay?
Yeah. Our concern is that he might not receive a fair trial.
Well, I can't deny that there's a history of racial bias. It's certainly not a perfect system.
How do you do this every day?
What? Yes, the cops in the program just reaffirmed the tripe about institutional racism, and it got worse. The rape victim is eventually encouraged to name her attacker, but of course, the young black man has to be painted in a sympathetic light. This is a rapist, mind you. The prosecutor, despite having a slam dunk case and a guaranteed guilty verdict, decides to agree to a favourable plea deal for the rapist, who, after all, is just another victim of racism in America.
It was just supposed to be a robbery. But when I saw her, my whole life, nobody paid attention to anything I did. Not at home, not at school. Always felt kind of invisible, you know? So why would this be any different? I guess I've finally learned my lesson. Just too late.
It's never too late, Mr. Watson. You'll do time. Not your whole life. When you get out, you'll still have some runway ahead of you.
Oh, thank God for that. We wouldn't want the rapist's life to be ruined now. This is the poisonous, racist, victim-blaming narrative being promoted by a major, long-running TV series. Have they just run out of story ideas, or are they trying to shame girls and women who want to take action against an attacker if that attacker happens to be black? Are they shifting the goalposts again, where to be seen as a good white ally, you should consider the ethnicity of your rapist before calling the cops? It's ugly, it's dangerous, and based on utter falsehoods about systematic racism. Just another example of the entertainment industry being hopelessly broken with race obsessions and woke dogma.